What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gig Nation. Jonathan here, and today we're going to be looking at HelloTech. But before we jump into that, make sure that you subscribe to the new Facebook group. I will leave a link down below. And if you're looking to check out some cool new gig economy jobs, also make sure to look at gigsharks.com to find the best gig economy jobs. All right, but let's go ahead and hop into this. So a few weeks ago, I actually applied to start working as a technician with HelloTech. Now, I was really excited about this. I mean, I love technology, I like solving problems, and I thought it would be a cool job, like gig economy on demand, but I also get to do what I love. I've always thought, food delivery is cool, it's relaxed, but I like to kind of like add more value and help people as much as I can, and use my skill set a little bit better, because I do feel like I'm good at solving problems, and delivering food is laid back. Yeah, love that. Love a lot of things about the job, but you just want to be doing like as much as you can with the tools that you've been given. So I saw HelloTech. They actually posted an ad that advertised $400 a day earnings in Seattle, which is crazy and obviously way too good to be true. That works out to be like well into six figures, and it's just a ridiculous number. Now, all of that's depending on skill set, and they kind of place you in tech jobs depending on what skill set you have. So they go all the way up to like electrician stuff, some like database work and server work on computers. Apparently, I don't know if they actually have these jobs available. And so if you're just a normal technician and you don't have like a lot of qualifications, a lot of skills, any like real certification, then what they end up doing is they end up placing you in a lot of jobs that are just installing like Nests, smart devices, other things in people's homes, printers maybe, a lot of Amazon Home Services jobs. But I didn't know any of this going in, so I got really excited about it. The application process was actually a lot. Like, it's a ton of work. You take a test that you can study for ahead of time and kind of look up resources while you're taking it, but it takes like an hour or two to take it, and then you also have to like go through all of these tutorials, and then you kind of take a background check, but you do have to pay for part of that yourself. So I ended up paying a little bit of money, paid for half that background check, so it was like $25 out of my paycheck that they took, and I ended up spending a lot of time studying for this, so it was a lot to put into it, but I was really excited about the opportunity, so it seemed like it'd be worthwhile. Now let me show you a little bit about how the app looks. If we pull it up here, you can see that there's a pretty good interface. The app itself is fine. I like it. You can look at the job offers page, and job offers pop up in real time. You get a notification, and then you can bid on it if you like it. And you can also kind of look at your past earnings, your stats. You can see how many jobs you've picked up, which ones you've declined, and then a couple metrics that they like to look at. They basically hold you accountable. They don't like you to be dropping a ton of blocks, and they also want you to be prepared before you come to show up to a job. So you can find those right there in the app and make sure that you're kind of living up to the standards that HelloTech expects. All right, so now that we've seen the basic layout of the app, and you kind of have a good idea what that application process looks like and what my perspective was going into it, now let's talk about the things that I don't like about the HelloTech platform and being a technician on this platform, because if you saw in my job offers or my job history, I only took 2 jobs and I only completed one of those jobs. So here's the main thing that I don't like: pricing. I'll show you a few job offers that popped up, and basically they're in the range of like $40 to $75. That's the basic like entry level job that you get if you're a technician that doesn't have a ton of certification and a ton of skill set. Now, apparently there are some higher level jobs out there, but I don't actually know. I can't really vouch that they're there and that HelloTech is generating any leads for people that want those higher paying jobs. So all I've seen is these low level jobs that are Amazon Home Service jobs. And so Amazon Home Services essentially is just like an after product service that Amazon gives. If you buy something through Amazon.com, like let's say a TV mount, then they will offer to install it for you in your home. And you can actually sign up to work for Amazon Home Services. You can look on their website, find a job through there, and kind of just skip the middleman with HelloTech. So I kind of felt like HelloTech was taking a cut on these job offers that they were giving me, but not actually doing a lot to generate leads like they said they were doing. That's their whole platform. They're a lead generation platform. They're not anything beyond that. So really, you're just paying like 20 to 30% of whatever your job total is for them to generate the lead for you. And that's really what I don't like, because when I'm seeing these $60 job offers to mount a TV, that means that I drive somewhere, I can set my job offer radius, but realistically it's got to be like 10 to 15 miles. So let's compare that to a food delivery offer. If someone's paying me $50 to mount a TV and I drive 10 miles to go do that, I'm essentially driving twice as far as I would to pick up a DoorDash order. And here in Seattle, it's not unrealistic for me to get one of those offers for like $15. Now, if I'm on Grubhub, that can be like $20 to $25, close to double that. So I can get, a pretty high paying order just to drive that far, pick up food. There's no real time spent at the restaurant. Sometimes it's a little bit, but usually it's pretty quick. But so if I'm doing HelloTech instead, not only am I driving that distance, but then I'm entering a person's house, finding a problem. Now I have to make sure that I've looked up ahead of time and really studied this TV mount to know what the exact specifications are, what tools I need to bring, how to install it. And I really can't know that much. I mean, the person can tell me a little bit of detail about the job, how to install it, but I don't really know until I see it. So I'm solving it's a TV mount. It's not like crazy difficult, but these can be kind of complex in certain situations, like installing them in certain rooms is kind of difficult. And so it requires a little bit more, definitely a lot more thinking and a lot more skill set than just delivering food. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do like, offering different skills. I definitely feel like I have more value to bring than just delivering food. But when it comes to just like straight up handyman work, if I'm going to be bringing more value to the table, I want to get paid more for that. And this platform, I did not feel like was adequately paying for that type of skill set. If you're to go ahead and find a client like this on your own that wants you to install something in your house, you can charge maybe like a couple $100 for that. Now, on top of this, HelloTech actually doesn't offer any sort of insurance. So if you're in someone's house and you're installing a TV mount and you damage something, that can potentially come back on you. You can have to pay for any damages. If you damage some sort of wiring, that can be a huge expense. So if you're doing this job and you actually have something to lose, not only are you not really getting compensated that much, but you're also putting a lot on the line, risking a ton going into that person's house and making installations on their property. So, like certain people that work in the gig economy might not have that much to lose. That's totally fine. Other people, go out of their way to put money aside, be financially responsible, save money. And all of a sudden, that money that you've set aside, you're now wagering every time you take one of these jobs for $50 or $60. So let's take a look at the one job I actually did complete. And this job actually turned out to be, a pretty good gig. It wasn't all too bad. Someone wanted me to set up a TV mount. The TV mount was already installed in the wall and they just purchased a bigger TV. So I really just had to lift the TV up, screw the screws in, make sure it was all set to go. And then I made like $120 for that. So that was actually a pretty decent offer, but most offers are nothing like this. They're full installation and they're about half of that payout. So I kind of lucked out on this one offer, and then as I continued to let offers come through the app, I passed up on 20, 30, 40 that just were not as good. And I'll go ahead and show you some of these offers right now. As they pull up, you can see that there's definitely a variety of jobs that come your way. As I mentioned, actually the bulk of every single job that I saw was a TV mounting job. Like that's really probably 60 or 70% of the work that they're throwing technicians. And so to call it a tech job when you're mounting TVs is definitely a reach. It's more of a handyman job, and there's all sorts of problems with these handyman apps. One of those being the way that customers kind of represent their jobs within the apps. It's really hard to give a detailed account of what needs to be done. Customers are in a rush and they kind of just list stuff out there. So I had another job in the app. It was a Nest home installation, and I thought it was kind of cool. I wanted to learn how to install these and go ahead and help someone out by doing that. But the job was improperly listed, so I showed up to their house. They didn't think that they had a transformer or that they needed it to be connected to a transformer. And essentially what they had was the wrong voltage on their transformer, and it just didn't fit with the Nest software or the Nest hardware. So what I was supposed to do is I was supposed to either go to the store, pick this up, and charge the customer, or cancel the offer. And I didn't really budget for this, so I didn't have one of those on me. I had to cancel the offer, but what ended up happening was I spent like 45 minutes looking for this transformer because the person didn't know if they had one in their house or not. And so once I found it, I discovered that we didn't have the right hardware. Their transformer needed to be upgraded, and essentially I had to cancel the order. So I got a $25 cancellation fee. Now, once again, I drove probably like 6 or 7 miles for this, and so that's really not much more of a payout than like a normal food delivery offer or something like that, except that I spent like an hour in this person's house. Putting myself in a little bit of risk because I was kind of crawling around through the attic with wires hanging around, and also at risk of damaging something in their house that would have come back to me if I caused any, real amount of damage there. And the interesting part about this offer is that when I called in to cancel it, I actually talked to customer service and I told them, about what the problem was, and they let me know that I could tell the customer how much it would cost to upgrade that transformer if they wanted to do it. And the charge that they wanted me to tell the customer versus the charge that was listed in the app for what I would get paid out was about a 30 to 40% markup for HelloTech. So they were taking 30 to 40% of this for the lead generation, for the fact that Amazon Home Services automatically sends offers to them instead of straight to me. So they're kind of just a middleman, and they're taking 30 to 40% on that. And that was really just disappointing to see because I didn't feel like HelloTech really offered anything. They don't offer insurance. The customer support, or the support that I received, wasn't much. I'm in charge of kind of contacting the customer, taking care of all of the support on my end. So saying that they offer any sort of support is not really a legitimate claim to make. So after having completed that first offer and not being able to complete the next offer, taking that partial payout, I kind of decided to call it quits on the platform. I left the app on, let it send me some more offers, and it kept sending me a bunch of those lowball offers on stuff that wasn't really worth my time. So I'm about to uninstall the app. I just kind of wanted to keep it on to make this video with, but it doesn't make sense for me. Maybe in the future I'll come back and check on it, see if they've changed anything about their platform. But at this point, it just really doesn't make sense, and I actually couldn't recommend it to anybody to do. It kind of falls in the same category as a lot of handyman apps. I don't really recommend them. Now, some handyman apps do actually have stuff that's worthwhile, tasks where you can get paid out pretty well, and good ways to meet clients. I know TaskRabbit can be a decent option. Also Tackle, some people do find jobs where they're just doing some simple yard work and getting paid out pretty good payouts on this type of job. So there's definitely, places where you can make money on them. But as a whole, I'm not a huge fan of these, and especially HelloTech and the technician side of it just hasn't been working out for me. So let me know if you've tried this app or if you've tried anything similar, what your experience was. Go ahead, leave a comment down below because I'd love to hear from you. Maybe it went better for you. Obviously, my experience is very limited. I only really did 2 jobs, and I only probably saw like 40 job offers come my way. That was enough for me to know that it's not the right fit for me. But potentially it's different in other markets. Maybe they're generating more leads, better leads, or offering higher paying jobs out to technicians. So I would love to hear from you if you've given it a try. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.